halfway. How about that? This class moves fast, the months go by quickly, and that means you are one step closer to graduation. Isn't that a great thing? Yes. I hope everybody's excited for that. And that one thing that makes this class that much more important. Now, some people are like, oh, I'm on my way out, or I'm on an externship, this and that. This is just boring. This is filler. I don't need this. But you do. Um, some people go, I've already got my job. I don't have to worry about this. But you do. These steps are ongoing throughout your career. And that's the part that people don't get. You could be bought out. Your company could be bought out. Okay. It could be shut down. There's financial situations that can cause turmoil. You could have to relocate for another reason. You have to start the job process again. You have to do the interview. You want to move up. Just because you work in a company doesn't mean that they're not going to make you interview. Yes, they know you, but it doesn't mean that they're not going to make everybody turn in a resume. So these are ongoing things. You want to know how to do new procedures, how to do new steps, how to have another skill. So you're going to have to do another informational interview when you are talking with people in your career field. That is gathering informational interviews. When you have people coming into an area and you are talking to people, you are networking with them. You need to be learning these skills. That's the difference between somebody that makes it and somebody who doesn't. How many people see people all the time, especially celebrity? They had their career handed to them. They just walked into it. Everything was given to them. How many people see these and like everything was given? Case in point, anybody hear of this singer called Chappell Roan? Anybody hear of her? She just took awards, this and that, new artist, all over the news, right? Brand new, yes. Now people are finding out 15 years to be a new artist. 15 years to be new. Oh, she just had it handed. 15 years. People don't look at the work, the time, the effort. Oh, no, it was handed. Everything's handed. That's what they want you to think. They don't want you to know the struggle. Old-time singer, Madonna. There you go. Living in buildings, no electric, no water. That's how she got her start. People start, people have to work. Careers are not just given, they require work. And so, but you can minimize that work with planning. And so please listen to these things. There's a reason why we teach these things. It's not just to annoy you. I can find better ways to annoy you. Trust me, I've got lots of ways to annoy you. But if you're not paying attention, you're looking around, you got your mic off, and I'm just going to ignore it and every now and then hit something that makes it look like I'm paying attention. Yeah. Okay. That's how your career is going to go. And that sounds a little preachy, I know. But I have a lot of experience. I made a lot of mistakes, and I'm telling you this from the point of view so you don't make all those same mistakes. Okay? Especially those that are going into certain fields. Now, I know a lot of you have this animal care field, and it is something that you are going to have great people skills. These areas require that because you're going to be in very, very close-knit teams. And if you don't negotiate this correctly, you are going to be booted out of place after place after place after place. Okay, you have to have great people skills to work with animal care. You're going to have to deal with the pet parents. You're going to have to deal with them in times when they're having horrible sorrow. Okay, people who are in fields like electric, HVAC, things like that, you're going to have to have great people skills because they're going through financial situations where you're going to be charging them lots of money. So you're going to have those. So you're going to have to learn how to communicate and deal with those. All right. So, oops, hold on. I have a bird that is trying to destroy things. He's managed to get to where he should be. There we go. Hold on 1 second. Had to help him back up on a perch there. Never work with children or animals, they always say. And that does hold true. Sorry about that. So I want you to pay really close attention. Don't be distracted. You know, you're doing yourself a very big disservice if you are. All right. And so try to follow along. Here we go as we continue on in your career. I'm going to do a screen share here. So here we are. We are in week 2. And like I said, tomorrow, Thursday, you are going to be meeting with Cassandra. She's going to be doing the live session with you. I'm going to send you out a question for tomorrow. And you're going to answer that based on what you learned from Cassandra. So you're going to be paying attention to her. She's going to be doing the guest speaking. And so you're going to respond to that. We've arranged that. So now there will be a recorded session. That recorded session is just going to be going over how to do the midterm. If you understand how to do the midterm, you're fine with that. You can do the midterm at any point. You do not have to wait until tomorrow. That's how the time works. Now, the absolute latest day you can do that midterm is Sunday. You miss Sunday, Monday, don't ask for an extension. It is gone. Okay? Everybody understand there are no extensions on midterm, period. You miss it, it's done. School does not allow extensions. That's it. Okay? You miss it, it is gone. Okay, so today we're doing this and this informational interview. How many people talk to the person you're supposed to? Nobody? Okay, okay, you did? Okay, perfect. If you did not, that's okay. You have until...
I was a little confused on it. Could you go over it just a little bit again? I'm sorry. I remember us going over it. I just wasn't 100% on
Okay.
everything.
Okay, so you named the person in your career field that you were going to interview, and you go and you actually interview the person. The idea of an informational interview is you are finding out about them. You are questioning them as to find out information about your field, what it is you want to find out. What is the day-to-day like? So if we go back to week 1, let me go back here. We're going to go back to week 1 where the initial one was right here. When this came out, there was a set of questions in here. And there's a video there that talks about it. Let's see if the questions are still here. You can get them right here. So if you click on that, you can see some of the ideas. You know, what were your main responsibilities? What's a typical day or week like for you? You know, how does it affect your general lifestyle? Because some of these jobs, they can be very demanding. Now you're going into animal care, correct? I believe.
Yes, I am.
Okay, so what a lot of people don't realize is that animal care is very emotional and it can be very hard. It's a incredibly taxing field. To give you an idea, I work with Florida Panthers. Okay, and working with large cats can be a dangerous job, uh, but at the same time, it's very rewarding. We were doing a routine exam on them, and when you're doing exams on large cats like that, they have to be sedated. And this is an older Florida Panther, and unfortunately, it did not make it out of sedation, meaning it passed during a routine exam. Uh, this was a horrible thing to have to go through. Always in the back of your mind, you're thinking, this animal was alive, healthy, happy, and we had to do an exam on it for an annual thing, do blood work, and now it's gone. If we hadn't done an exam, it would still be with us, this, that, etc. So you can understand how when you talk to these people, these things bleed into your home life. So ask them, what's it like? How does this, take a toll on you? How does it affect your family? These are things you want to ask people because this is a career you're going to go into. And these are things that you don't learn in the classroom. You know, why did they get into this field? Are there related fields? Should I go into specialty? You know, I'm a feline person. Should I stick with, domestic cats? Do I want to go into large cats? Do I want to go into, other things? Do I want to go into exotic animals? You know, find out what it is like. This is your chance to get things that you don't learn in the classroom. And this is informational interviewing, where you're trying to find out more and educate yourself in your field. So, do you understand what the purpose of an informational interview is? You see where it's headed? Okay, so that is one of the things of an informational interview. And when you meet with professionals in your field, just in a group or you go to a trade show or you go, these are the things to ask them to find out what it's really like. Um, do you ever go to zoos or things like this, like Busch Gardens and stuff like that, where they have the meet the keeper thing? Do you ever go to those? Stay after and talk to them?
I went to Disney Animal Kingdom for the first time last year, so I got to see like all that.
Okay. So that's a great thing. Stay after, ask them, let them know, hey, I am, a vet tech or I'm a vet assistant and this, and you don't say student, I am this. Remember, we're changing our vocabulary and say, I'd like to know more about this. By the way, the tree of life that's around there and the animals around there. Just so you know, one of our instructors at the Auburndale campus there, who used to teach there, she's not teaching there right this minute. She is in charge of all the animals around that tree of life there, all those smaller animals around there. She takes care of those. She's a real good friend of mine. So this is why I'd say you want to connect with people you don't know who knows who. Okay. I know a lot of the veterinarians out at Busch Gardens too. I know the trainers that work out at SeaWorld. Okay. The ones that work actually with the orcas there. And so I unfortunately know the lady that was so publicly talked about in the passing, and that there's a lot of background that people don't know behind the scenes, and we won't get into that. So you don't know who knows who. This is why you put yourself out there and you network. Okay. This is why
Can
we
can I
do
do my
this.
interview on you?
I'm sorry, what?
Can I do my interview on you? Can we talk after class?
I could definitely talk to you. More than willing. You can use an instructor. You can use anybody. I would absolutely. So after our class here, stay on and we will talk and you can ask me questions. Absolutely. Do you want to do it that way? So after we do our lecture here, we'll stay on. Okay?
Yeah, yeah, I would love that. Thank you.
Absolutely. So think about what you want to ask, how you want to ask it, and we'll do that. You're more than welcome to. All right? So we'll do that. So let's go on now that we know what that is and how we're doing that. So this is one of our interviews that we're going to do. You're going to do another one too, but that one's going to be a little bit different because this one has to be in your field. Your next one, they don't have to be in your field. And we'll talk about that when we get to it. All right. This will also help us break out of our shells and get us a little bit going. Okay, so you'll have until Sunday to put this together, and uh, and it's not so bad. When you see things that tells you how many words you need to do, don't get bothered by it. Okay, just start writing and don't stare at a blank screen or a blank page or whatever. Start writing. Just type something, write something, and then that makes it easier. All right. Okay. Your signed resume. Please get that signature on there. Uh, they're real good about that. And if you're having problems getting them to sign off of it or whatever, let me know. Send me a text, send me an email, let me know what's going on. Worst thing you can do is not let me know because I can only grade what I have or drop in zeros if I don't have it. Let me know what's going on. I can drop notes in there so I can say, hey, the person's contacted me about this. And if they're not cooperating, I'll hound them. I'll either hound you or hound them. I'm easy to work with, but if you don't communicate, I don't know what's going on. Okay. The midterm. Don't get hung up about the midterm. I've got a study guide for you. Remember, you're going to click, it'll say start quiz here, multiple choice, short answer. You're going to have a lower grade when it's finished. I have to go back through and manually check everything. Then the grade goes up because I have certain ones I have to manually grade. That'll add points, and I add your bonus points in. So don't wig out about that. Your study guide is under this big red help. And right there, midterm study guide, you can download it with that arrow, or you can just click on the PDF. You can pull it up on a second device if you have a phone and a computer, etc. Open it up in a different window. Everything's broken out by chapter. If you Google the questions, because it's on the book, if you Google them, make sure the question is related to the class and the answer is correct. There's wrong answers out there. So if you're going to Google it, Google smart. All right. So here we go. Because I want to get through part 2 and then I got something to show you. And then we're going to do that little interview there. All right. So here we go. Let me get over here and we are going to start on the current slide. Maybe, maybe not. There we go. Part 2, the sequel. Kind of like Jaws 2, only no shark. Although they did find the biggest great white shark they found in the ocean so far, and it was off the coast between Georgia and Florida. I think it was going to go to Disney. Okay, so if you're going to an in-person interview, get there at least 15 minutes before time. Remember, don't change your clothes in the parking lot. They laugh at you. Make sure you pay attention to traffic, weather, other delay factors. Know where it's going to be conducted. You asked all that information. Make sure you know how to get there. And I always like to do a dry run if possible because I'm paranoid. Make sure you have the information. Do I know where to park? Do I need a visitor pass? What kind of identification? If they charge to park in that lot, do they validate? Some people don't know what that means. That means when you're in there, they stamp it or whatever so that when you leave the parking lot, you get to pay nothing. You get to park for free. Okay. This way you don't get embarrassed or confused because if there's multiple lots and you park in the wrong one, you come out, your car is towed. Okay. Now, a virtual interview, take these things serious. Okay. Especially if they want you on a camera. Make sure you know what you're doing because there could be technical problems. Make sure you know you've got the software, you know how to connect everything. Make sure they have everything they need that you've sent it ahead of time. And so uh, email them any resumes, references, everything so that they have it. Now, here's the thing with telephone interviews. Make sure you're in a quiet spot, you have a good connection, you're by the phone at least 5 minutes early. You're all situated, okay? Now, people don't realize this. When you are talking on the phone, make sure you're sitting upright, okay? It's going to make a difference in the way you sound. And act like you're face to face with the person. Have all your stuff out in front of you. Take notes, okay? Be in a quiet area and take notes. Have that already. Don't say, let me get this. No, you have that, okay? When you're using Zoom, Teams, Skype, other things, make sure you're dressed appropriate. There's nothing behind you. No kids zooming back and forth. We don't need photo bombing here. It's not that kind of thing. Okay. And there's going to be 3 types of questions. Hint, hint, midterm thing here. General information, behavioral, and stress questions. Okay. Now, general questions sounds just like what it means. I'm going to ask you about your education, your work experience. There's our favorite one right there. Tell me about yourself. Okay, that elevator pitch that you created, that's what you're going to give them right there. You've already got it memorized. You're going to tell them, boom, no sweat. You just blah, 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 blah. That's why we did that elevator pitch. Go back to that. Memorize that. Never sweat this question again. Everybody got that? We did that for a reason. You did that one time and you never sweat this question again. Use it every time, over and over. I had you do that for a reason. You sail through this, everybody else sputters and putters. You just went one step ahead of them. Okay? What jobs have you had? Be proud of every job. I had to scrub toilets. I did it better than anybody else. You would be so happy to go in there and do your business because you knew it was clean. Be proud of every job you did because you did it better than anybody else. I don't care what you have to do. You take pride in everything and you do it to the best of your ability. Because you know what? You can have the best company in the world doing everything right. But if the toilets go down in that company, they have to send everybody home. So now, if that best company in the world and the CEO gets sick, the CEO goes home and the company runs. So who is the most important person in that business? The janitor. So let that put that in perspective. Everybody is important, and the one you think is the most important may not be the one you believe. So always be proud of what you do every time. And if someone tries to put you down, they've got the problem, not you. Why do you want to work for this company? I've seen your company. It's incredible. And I know I can take it to a higher level. See that? I don't want to work for this company because I need a job. I think I can improve your company. How about that? I can improve your company. I see how compassionate you are for the animals you care for. I share that quality with you, and I'm going to bring my knowledge and my expertise to you. See how I'm doing that? I'm saying I'm the same as you, and I'm going to share what I know with you. I'm just like you, and I'm going to be with you. See, I'm pushing myself all the way into your company. What is your major strength? I come in with a knowledge and I have the ability to take the people that I work for and push them to higher levels. Oh, how about that? I'm going to come in and I'm going to elevate you. I'm going to push you up. You know why I'm saying that? Because here's your choice. You're going to hire me and I'm going to push you up or I'm going to push you out. But either way, I'm taking your position. I am not going to be happy just coming in. I'm moving up. And the people above me, they got a choice. Either move up with me or I'm going to take their spot. That's ambition. And they want to hear that. So do you see how you turn all these phrases into, I'm in your company. I'm in there. Not I want. I am. You're pushing yourself in. Do you see how all these phrases are placing you in? Not I want. I want. Wanting is needy. I'm telling you, I am. I ams are there and I'm working for you already. So they're already mentally starting to picture you there. That's a big difference. Are you comfortable using this technology? Yes, I am comfortable using any technology that you train me to use. This way, if there's something you don't know how to use, you're telling them you're going to show me. Okay. Now, behavioral questions, these are a little bit different. Okay. So they're going to ask you things on how you react. Okay. Hold on. Speaking of that, oh, gray birds are really getting on my nerves today. Now he's latched hold of a wind chime. There we go. It's amazing. A bird with 3-inch legs, and he can reach 4 feet across. Like having a little brat today. All right, sorry about that. Okay, so this was one I had to actually think about. Describe a time when you missed an opportunity to provide your best possible service to a customer. Yeah, I've done this in real life. Working in the front area, customer came in, I went over, helped them. I'm showing them something in the retail area. Second customer came in, I'm working with the first one. And they're very, very needy. I'm working. This is what I didn't do. I should have told the first customer, I'll be right back. Went over to the second one, said, I'm working with somebody right now. Please look around. I'll be with you in just a minute. I went back to the first one, but I didn't. So I could have done that and provided best service to 2 people. Instead, I gave all my attention to one. Okay, so that is a situation where I didn't do the best. I own it. I'm going to tell them that. Don't be afraid to say that you didn't do your best at something, but you learned from it. Some people are afraid that if they say that, they're not going to get hired. Now, this is something they're going to do. They're going to give you stress questions. And there's 2 types, a hypothetical and a blue sky. And they sound very similar. But a hypothetical question is based on a situation that's relatable to the business. Okay. Like, what would you do if somebody came rushing into the office holding an animal that's bleeding? Or what would you do if you're hooking up an electrical system and sparks happened? Okay, that's a hypothetical question. A blue sky question is something that may not have anything to do with your job. Like, what would you do if somebody offered you a lot of money to do this? That's blue sky. They just pull it out of the clear blue sky. Okay. So those are the types of stress questions because you're not expecting them and it makes you stress out. Think about the question for a second and then answer. Okay. Don't think about what they want to hear for the answer. Answer it the way you want. Now, this is something very important because these are illegal questions. They cannot ask you about your age. They cannot ask you about your disabilities, ethnicity, or national origin. They cannot ask you your gender. They cannot ask you your marital or family status, and they cannot ask about your religion. You can say, I prefer not to answer. Okay, now how do they get around these things? Age, they can ask you, when did you graduate from high school? When did you do this? They can get around these things, okay? But if they're asking them, this is possibly not the best place to work. All right? We have some old school people that don't realize these things are illegal to ask. Okay. Now, you will have the opportunity to ask questions and always ask at least one or two questions. Who do I report to? Not who does the position report to. It says who will I report to once I'm hired? Notice I said once I'm hired, not if I'm hired. Once I'm hired. What will my working hours be when I report to work? Okay. How will you support my professional development? Will you offer training? Will I have this? Notice I'm saying, will I have? Everything's for me. Okay. Asking questions. A very good thing is you mentioned this. Could you tell me a little bit more about it? So that tells them that I heard you, but I'd like to hear more about it. Even if you know all about it, it lets them know, hey, you're important enough. I heard of you. Tell me more. Okay. Now, questions you don't ask, and people don't realize this. Don't ask, what's the salary? Don't ask about money in the interview. You don't ask. You wait for them. Okay. Don't ask, how many candidates are you going to interview? Not your business. Don't say, may I come back? Nope. They will ask you. You don't ask that. And don't say, what did you think about me? Okay. Nope. Don't do that. And don't ever ask, are you going to hire me? These questions, never, never, never. So how do you find out about the money? Number one, you should know how much money you are supposed to get for the position. And that will come when they offer you the position and they say, this is what we pay. And if it's too low, say, I should have this much for this position. Or if they say, how much would you get or would you like, blah, 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 say, I would expect to be paid what is comparable for this line of work. Notice I don't give them a dollar amount because if I give them a dollar amount and they were willing to pay more, I cut my salary. Make them give you a dollar amount. Always prepare. Always prepare. Practice. Mock interviews. This is why we do it. So we get feedback to find out what it's like. The night before, make sure you have everything laid out. Have all your portfolio, all everything, your clothes, nothing left to get. Know your route. Be ready to get there early. Get sleep. Don't look like you went out and had the time of your life. Right? Now, I'm going to end that one because I have a second mini one to do here. Because I want to show you. Whoops, I closed one too many. Hold on. Let me get this one back over here. Got a little mini one to go through real quick because I want to show you your progress. Because we don't always realize our progress. Where are we now? You've done some things. So we started off with those long-term goals. This is where you want to go, what you want to achieve and things to gain. This informational interview, this is giving you those experiences, the good, the bad, things you may not have realized. It's going to give you some network growth. Those resume keywords, I keep going. They're required to be seen, and you will not get your resume selected without it. You learn to pull them out of the job post. You learned also how to search those job posts in the company websites. And you're going to use them on your resume, business cards, LinkedIn, networking. You're going to use them everywhere. We talked about your personal brand. That's your reputation, your aptitude, skills, your ability, your personality, and values. And people are going to know you by that. You started a brand statement, what you offer an employee in one sentence. Put it on your resume, your cover letter, your social media accounts. This is going to be your slogan. So rethink that. Get it down to that one sentence. That interview. We just talked about this. Prepare, do a mock interview, practice question. You're going to dress appropriate, have hygiene. You're going to smile. You're going to handshake, be on time, know where to go, where to park. You sit up, feet flat on the floor, hands on the lap or the armrest. You hand that resume to the interviewer. You answer with confidence. Don't stray from the question. You ask closing questions. And what else do? You make sure that afterwards you debrief. Think about what you just went through. Okay? Your online presence, like it or not, everyone has one. It's either good or it's bad or it's missing. Either way, you have an online presence. So you need to make it positive because your employers, they're going to look for it. They're going to go snooping. They're nosy. And think about LinkedIn. We're going to create a LinkedIn account. Some of you may have one, some don't. And we're going to create one in this class, even if you don't have one. If you got one, we're going to possibly improve it. If you have Facebook or any other ones, lock it down. Only your friends and family should be able to see it. Lock it down. You're not a Kardashian. You don't need to expose yourself everywhere. Okay. Then we start talking about networking because you should be doing it now. Go to virtual events, volunteer, talk to people on campus, industry conferences, seminars, go to local meetups. Every career has these. They go to restaurants, they go to bars, they meet out places. Think about physical and digital business cards. Okay. Now, your assignment. I want you to think about this one. This one's going to make you think about where you are and how you do this. You're a participation assignment tonight. This one's a fun one. Okay. I give you the following offers. You have to make a choice here. I will hire you and your best friend. Your jobs will pay $30 an hour each. Or you get the job, only you, and I'll pay you $50 an hour. But your best friend doesn't get a job. Your best friend will never know about this offer, just who is hired or not. So you can get the $50 or you both get $30 an hour. You make the decision. Your friend will never know how you decided in this situation. So you put that as your participation assignment. Are you going to take the 30 and your friend gets a 30? Or do you just take the 50 for yourself? And why? That's your dilemma for the participation assignment. All right. So let me go ahead and wrap this up here. Stop that from sharing. And I am going to go ahead and stop the recording.